Ghana for You TV.
Ghana for You TV.
Abusua Prophet Dr. Owusu Bempah akasa wose the MPP for the aye no on fan chom ne fan chom chena na especially obi ti sa Abronye na afesu Coka na omutimi ekwehye Bawumia chi na omudidi natem Bawumia ene omo aye one ene samila Bawumia mu nyina da ene omo aka bom na omutimi bedi natem eka de enim edigu no so de ene wo no omo beche ayam eti MPP de they should forget of 2028 election. Enya abia MPP eba ne abachina na nunti eno mabopo Kumase se ene anka Sunday won ba begu na so dem ho ene ne dia ba bisi ani ena ba ba konde a ene ono so etwen wo mo nunti ene ne ono so prepare de twen wo mo a wode national security ni a police for ebegu ho ema ho nyina eye kama no di so mo ye mema omopa omom na so dem ho emefesi ni 101 no wasi ne bopa so ne MPP amanyuku no especially Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de besie ni pa wo social ne media no so before 2028 election and after 2028 election munyina aha eguso Ghana for You TV abusuan yenkwa tie Prophet ne nchire mu a wama adekoro potinti a ama wo no onye nadwen so be give up wo MPP asem kan ho no yetie bi ne mfamra
Penny Apostle Charles.
And may God bless Owusu. Apostle Charles Owusu.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Why am body pa Sophie Charles Owusu. Yamisha wa oka se me ho efe no.
Amen. Apostle Charles Owusu is
wa oka se me ho efe no so wo yam body pa. Apostle Charles Owusu wa yam body pa. Body.
It's a close friend. Now, during the time of the Ramadan,
Madam for NDC nibi oche enam edoso no de breme na enam na de.
It was at that time that a friend of mine, a Muslim in the NDC party, brought me fried
NDC for ne breme nam sa
fried meat.
Mekai ebi kura ba de na asofo no wo ho osofo cha se uwi bi ohun na in fact it
was
in fact
it tasted good.
Me share that this year afa na me hwe no one by one na me pese be santem osofo eno kwasem ne say me na fofo NDC fo no omo nam na de me kokra sa do sisi a me kokra do. Hallelujah. Church me pese edin komo bi na fe yewia na yentoa asore so.
Now church, I want us to have a brief conversation, and after the conversation we'll continue with the other parts of the service.
Family meeting.
This is a family meeting.
Na me pese omo ni aya sorry omo abruchire.
And I want those who have joined this service online, both locally and internationally, I want them also to lend us their listening ear.
Said na Apostle Charles Owusu Ekano.
Now, just as Apostle Charles Owusu has already said,
we
have hatred for no political party. We do not hate any political party.
But
I see nobody does something for no reason.
Last Sunday, last 2 weeks, Sunday.
Now, last Sunday, my explosion was actually intended for last 2 weeks. Sunday.
Because of information, voice messages, I want me phone so. I want me phone so. I believe some apostle, a be will phone so. Also for bon, say be also phone so.
Because of pieces of information.
Last month,
I received last month.
August.
August, what's right?
July, no. Beginning of July, no.
Now, last month, in the month of July,
and I mean, message from Kumasi.
I received messages from Kumasi.
Nkrophobia omaye meeting.
And it was about some people who had sat in a meeting.
NPP phobi.
And it was, the people were some NPP members.
Sir,
their discussion and plan was that they would come to church, our church premises, church auditorium, to cause chaos and mayhem, to disrupt our service, and it would just be like what happened some time ago. So that they would say, oh, here, these are the acts of the incorrigible Owusu Bempah. He has done it again. And then they will come in the guise of Muslims, as though they are Muslims, as though they are Muslim youth that are coming on attack. The alleged reason they will be coming to attack in the manner they would, or in the manner they have planned, is that I have said allegedly that I will not allow a Muslim to be president of Ghana. But there is no record of me saying I will not allow a Muslim to become president of Ghana. There is no in my life. There is no record of me saying here or anywhere that I will never allow any Muslim to be president ever in Ghana. I was a student of CI Abronye. And I used to live at Alaba. And I lived in the midst of Muslims. We also lived at Aswasi A-line. We lived in the midst of Muslims. I was a student of Nawal in Dini. It is an Islamic school. Before I moved on to St. Peter's. The Doom area. So I am not a person that has hatred for Muslims. But some people are creating a very wrong narrative that Prophet Owusu Bempah has hatred for Muslims. It is untrue. I have a cordial relationship with the chief imam of Ghana. Now, in this nation, those personalities that I hold in high esteem and I have great reverence and respect for, he is one of them. Now,
last Sunday to that extent.
Why? What caused me to react to that extent last week? Now, my anger was triggered by something. And it was because of the information that some people would just come and cause chaos. And the information was about some MPP youth who had decided they will come and do what is unlawful. Now, if I were the only person that received that information, well, somebody will say, "Oh, man of God, it's very convenient for you to say that it's a lie." Church members, there are members of the church that received this kind of information. I had also received. My sister Fosti also received a call. Also received a call to inform her brother, which is the prophet, so that we would be aware of what some people have intended to do because we lived in Kumasi.
Osofo Charles Owusu o message ni bi sesi a woni phone so.
Now, Reverend Charles Owusu also received messages which he's got on his phone.
Members bebre wodam hanomo a omu tie nsema making.
Now, there are certain members who are seated in church today who also received messages of this kind. Now, when I heard this, I was deeply hurt. So I was asking myself, why? What have I done this time? So if you recall, weeks ago, I said about the MPP internal elections that they were having, that really they are really going to elect leaders. And I was asking why they were going to cast ballots and elect leaders. I mean, for what purpose? In fact, that day when I was speaking, I was very hurt, and it was that time that I wanted to speak out and explode. There are so many things the MPP as a party has done against me to cause me hurt. And even that, as if that were not enough, now that I'm minding my business,
MPP tie, Owusu Bempah yesa, NDC so bae, Owusu Bempah sa yesa, ni atwa ntro se mema sorefo ampo aprosifo sa na brebi atwa mom kan na this time beka so Owusu Bempah amana sorefo ampo nkrofo bi ona sore dem. Now, look at all these things. So now that according Muslims and Owusu Bempah sorefo.
Now that I'm minding my business, there seems to have been a conspiracy against me and a decision to cause some youth from the MPP party to come to church during church service hours to cause chaos and mayhem. And when the situation becomes violent, they would say that Prophet Owusu Bempah has done it again. During the MPP dispensation, he caused members of his church, allegedly, in fact, it is untrue, that he caused members of his church to beat some police officers who had been sent on official assignment to church. And they will say again that this time, Prophet Owusu Bempah has caused the members of his church to beat some people in church within the precinct of the church. And they'll give a very false and provocative narrative about it, that as though there is some contention between Christians and Muslims.
Na adia me ngwane say information ye nyina so edin ba kopa bi no mu nyina abo se saa nipa no nkrofo edin ba kopa bi.
Now, all the messages we have received, there is one particular name that they mention. It is central in all the messages received from the various quarters, and they say people associated with this very person are the people planning to do this evil.
Metime baby ni ama Abronye no abetena TV so no abedi Owusu Bempah temsa.
Now,
menkasa
without any provocation, in fact, while minding my business, I see videos of Abronye on social media casting insults, as aspersions and all that at me, at my person, without any provocation.
And Abronye ya no di matema na Vice President Bawumia picture bonechi. Your friend is saying, your can say Honorable Ken o mabie ni trimi. Coka sutimi be di matemsa. And also menkasa.
And then another gentleman called Coka also would rain insults for no reason at me.
Oni freni bi su ya freni Bulgaria. Onu su be di matemsa menkasa de be no on Vice President. Aye video.
Now there's this blind guy who is called Bulgaria would also insult me for no reason, and the next moment you see him in a photograph with the ex-vice president of Ghana. Now,
picture
now, for all these people who come out to insult me and attack my person, I have done nothing to any of them. And for all of them, while doing their broadcast, you will see pictures and portraits of the former vice president, His Excellency Bawumia. Then we'll also hear Efia Schwarzenegger. She will come with hers and she would insult me. Now, recently when she was called, she decided she will not respond and she will not insult me.
And then in Crawford, so be Dimatem, Kobo Morris Ampaupa. No, so be Dimatem, and also Bempah my din.
Now, Chairman Wontumi and his boys, with in an alliance with Morris Ampau, they would come use airtime just to insult me for no apparent reason. Now, I ask myself, what have I really done? I am also human. Now, you don't just insult me, you insult my mother, insult members of my church, and use unprintable words. You use unprintable words in describing me, members of my church, and my family.
Now,
Now, I ask myself, the leadership of NPP, are they saying they have not heard nor seen any of these insults targeted at me? And they have lost control over their people to the extent that they cannot tell the members of their own party to stop what they are doing to Prophet Owusu Bempah. So sometimes I get angry and I declare that I will not allow the former president, candidate of the new patriotic party, to become president of Ghana because of the insults. Now you know what has happened.
Vice President Bawumia.
I have friends who are also very good friends of the former vice president Bawumia. I am using this opportunity, this platform, as an opportunity to say something for those friends to hear me clearly. It is not the case that in recent times I have withdrawn from you.
Ebimpo etimi ya party kase papa ya party ni ya invite o enti bra party ni bi ni nyina ya ntonsa ni di menko.
Now sometimes
and then I make a the
through a party
me nan for no me pese me body mo parties amu ya mu invite me na member no because of Dr. Bawumia na mo ne nam no enti amma me nya gidie o mu biem san de ne Crawford de ye minti enti amma me suro me ho.
They throw parties and invite me, man of God. Oh, please honor invitation. Come, let's wine and dine together. But I decline. I do not honor their invitation, not because there is anything they have done, but it is because I am just being careful. I have noticed that you have they are associating themselves with the former vice president of Ghana, Dr. Bawumia, and for the sake of what his own people are doing to me, I don't have confidence. I don't have confidence in coming to your parties. I am just being careful. This is the whole thing.
2013.
In 2013,
I saw them here.
Right here in church. God gave me a revelation and a prophetic message, and I declared it. Now, at that time, former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was only a flag bearer and not a president. He was the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. Now it is this prophetic word which I declared by the instruction of God that has brought me this trouble.
Now
the prophetic message was not a creature of my imagination. It was not a figment of my imagination. It was God who revealed it to me and gave me instruction to declare it to the hearing of the public, and I did in accordance with what God said. In the same manner as God gives me revelations and messages about other nations, about families and individuals, and I declare them, that was the same way I received this message. It is part of my call.
Chief of Staff frame me.
Subsequent to that, I received a message or an invitation by the then Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana.
Jubilee House. So I
went to Jubilee House. I'm not going to disclose everything that went on, but I'm just trying to prove a point. On that said day, Prophet Victor Kusibuateng was also at the Jubilee House. Myself,
Victor Kusibuateng, Nana Yewura, Chief of Staff Office.
Myself,
Jubilee House.
Nana Pong, also called C2, Prophet Victor Kusibuateng. We entered the office of Madam Frema Opare, the Chief of Staff, together. I'm just trying to make a point. I just need your attention.
Chief of Staff, and so
by the instruction of the Chief of Staff, they showed me a video. Now I watched the video and he asked me, man of God, are you the person in the video? And I said yes. And she asked me, why did you make that declaration? And I said, Madam,
2013.
Please, this video was recorded so many years ago in 2013. At that time, His Excellency Nanado was not president of Ghana.
And vice president.
And he had not even at that time appointed a running mate who will become vice president.
And I say, in fact, papa,
and she told me that your father, the president, is not amused about what he heard in the video. And she actually admitted that the video is an old video. Now let's put that aside. This is the genesis. Now I want everyone to watch that video. Now listen to the prophetic message God gave me, which I declared in that time. And then now let's assess the events of time that happened after the prophecy, and let's check whether the prophetic word has any truth in it. Now when I got arrested, I had a conversation with Chairman Wuntumi, and he said to me, that prophetic message I declared, which they impressed on me, to go grant interviews.
Then Dr. Bawumia Magana, Yaya Huajumo Masadi Nefriho. And the radical cham said, Mammy, and a man, me how you know. Chama to me say, a nunti show machimeno. Omoni Bembah Sawam and I accuse for 2 years. All catch about the speaker. I believe, sir, Apostle Tay, and my brother soften an accuracy.
Now,
the speaker.
Now, at that time, they impressed on me to grant interviews both on radio and TV and tell the people of Ghana that message is no longer valid because we have prayed about it and we have worked on it. And so, in that time, God has chosen Bawumia, the vice president of Ghana, to become the leader of Ghana after Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But God told me not to say what they had told me to say, so I refused to grant those interviews. Now, Chairman Utumi informed me that the reason for my woes was because I had declined to grant interviews to sort of reverse the impact of what that prophetic message had done to the party.
Enunti ochina omo edemebe court now omo demebe to cells for 2 weeks.
Now Chairman Wontumi told me that I will be incarcerated in prison custody at either Nsawim prison or Akuse prison for 2 years, and that the day after my arrest, which was Monday, they would put me before court and I'll be remanded. Empire court omo remanded me for 2 weeks. Indeed, we went to court and I was remanded just as Chairman Wontumi said.
Apostle Charles echo lawyer biho.
Now Apostle Charles went to see a certain lawyer.
Lawyer ne frere IGP Dampare.
Now the lawyer called IGP
Dampare at the speaker.
Now IGP said, because the call was on speaker, so Apostle IGP said to the hearing of Apostle Charles Owusu,
say obedi mechi san kosi say yede mebe kon sawamu.
Now the IGP declared boldly on that phone call that he would follow me and follow the case until he sees that I have been jailed at Nsawim.
Enti yade me to cells no omoma a whole regional commander obeda ka mu si say Owusu Bempah or Demampa.
Now, so when on the day I was arrested and during the time I was behind in cell, a whole Greater Accra regional commander was made to sit in his car at the police on the compound of the police station whose cell I had been placed, to ensure that I had not been brought out by any means possible.
I feel no say as I mean feel fine.
Now while in cell I realized I was not feeling okay. So I started to throw up. And I was shivering.
And they say hospital, police hospital.
So it became necessary that I will be taken to the police hospital.
In fact, doctor no hear me medical checkup and also no. Me BP baby I want miss me BP.
Now the doctors came and checked my my blood pressure and other things and said no, my BP level was rising. But I never had any issues prior to that with blood pressure.
Drip.
And so he administered drip on me.
Now, while I
was at the hospital on the bed receiving the drip, there were some armed policemen that came to the ward. When they came, they said they were there pursuant to an order from above, and the instruction they had received from above was to put cuffs on my hand and cuff my hand to the bed.
Charge the abomini say me mama mama sorry for ya moti hey. Aprosifo bi ba ha na mama mama bo. Eso mi hu aprosifo bi o mo ba dem ha me mama bo.
Now
me charge no.
Now the charge, the allegation they had made against me was that they had sent policemen on official duty to church, and while they were here, I, the prophet of God, instructed members of this church to beat up the policemen, beat them to pulp. But there was no police person that came for any official duty to the knowledge of the prophet of God. So this police officer, this police officer who claims had been sent by an order received from above, put the cuffs on that same hand which was receiving the drip.
In fact, now
when he put the cuffs, he tightened it up, and so it started to hurt me. It was cutting my skin. So I was screaming that, young man, you are hurting me.
But the American
But all the pain and agony I was going through fell on deaf ears. So I started bleeding. And I was not breathing smoothly. I felt uneasy. I was sweating. And I could not persuade these guys.
I believe Apostle Charles Owusu
Now, what I'm saying, Apostle Charles Owusu witnessed it. He saw it. Mr. Hobson Adoya also saw it. My nephew, Ernest Owusu Bempah, also saw them. He witnessed it. So they began to confront the policemen that, can't you see the man of God is hurting and he's in pain? And so they retorted and said, if they said to Ernest Owusu Bempah and Hobson Adoye, if you do not leave this premises now, we will shoot you dead. And I'm saying, so I was asking them, how have I wronged you? And so I told them I wanted to use the washroom. The policeman brought me a black polythene rubber bag and told me to pee in it. Now at this time there were already 4 policemen in that small ward, and they gave me a polythene bag. That if I am saying that I wanted to use the washroom, the place of they wouldn't allow me to go to a place of convenience right in their presence. I should do whatever I want to do in that polythene bag. Oh, I was very sad that day. Now it hurt me. What I was so concerned about was that I was bleeding at the time. How did I wrong them? Another allegation they made against me was that I had thrown my support to Honorable Alan Tremanting, and even at that time I had not met Honorable Alan Tremanting face to face. Now can you show the video? I want you to listen. I want you to listen to the prophetic word which annoyed the NPP party so much, and you will notice that from the prophetic word happened or has happened, it has come to pass as the Lord revealed. This one also goes to MPP. MPP for if MPP become 2016 election, that 2016 they win the election, and they don't go before God in prayer, and they are not careful or cautious, they can never come to power, and NDC may retain power. I know you are not happy, and some people are happy. Why would it happen that way? There is something in MPP that the Lord revealed to me. That is some form of a hardened heart. That is one person, about one person, because of his heart. God often does not want to allow MPP into power just because of one person. Just because of one person. This is one thing God doesn't want. That somebody will touch Christians or followers of Christ. So if you have any intention that when I have power, I would rise up against a religion or a form of worship that is godly or Christianity in a nation. Even when you have it, God will take it away from you. I am saying it in a proverb,
but I am comshe.
But it is a prophecy.
Nipa betemba akupe binti.
Just because of one person.
Say NPP fo anhwe yi.
If NPP is not careful,
omuntimi ma power.
They may never come back to power. Just because of one person.
Abedi akire ba akupe binti.
Just because of one vice.
Nyame hwe nakomam.
God looks into his heart.
Nyame usa nakoma no. Emmoa ono no nyame son se oba tumi soa.
God realizes that if that person receives power, it will not help the cause of his people.
Enye di odi kan no,
not the main person or the first person.
If
it was left to the first person or the leading person, but after this leading person has finished his assignment, the next person or the second person who is likely to take over, that the first person would allow him to come to power after him, it will affect Christianity in this nation, and to lift up another religion, and that one would have authority over Christianity and will withdraw the hand of God. And the angel of God that was in Ghana so God said, no, if this branch does not break from the tree, I will not allow it to be established. A word to a wise. I don't know if you are having an idea about but this branch or this whatever branch, it is in this branch that the tree has confidence. It is in this branch that all the leaves on the tree have confidence. Because this it is because of this branch which is attached to the tree. God loves his people and his religion than governments.
Samo pesa mo ba power. Nia ebata duane ho no. Muntu no fo. Na nakoma de ehemu no onsesa no.
Now if NPP wants to come to power, then
na onyai nyame nkrofo.
Speak to that person.
Na sa oba onfo hawo embre nyame nkrofo.
And let him change his heart.
Empejo sumfoforo bi. Emasa sumfoforo ni nya pa hande de a ene ombetimi aba power.
If he's able to change his heart,
MPP
then they can come to power. Or else MPP can never come to power. You can write down today's date, Mark 2, and you know that I am a prophet.
Hallelujah. Afe yantrase na yentie na menya mfama samomla wie. Enti miniano.
Men and brethren.
Where 2013.
Now this is 2013.
Enti bra chief of staff Ephraim ya me call Jubilee House no. Enti Ebra chief of staff Ephraim me call the office 2021.
So about 2021, when the then chief of staff invited me to her office,
Madam Frema
Opare,
sa video na omo mu yichire me.
This was the same video they showed to me about 2021. And she asked me, man of God, are you the same person in the video? And she asked me, man of God, why did you say these words you are saying in the video?
Because
it has caused trouble. And she said to me that my father, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana at that time, was not happy when he saw the video.
Office, old video. Your Excellency, now may president.
So when I went to the president's office, I said to him, Your Excellency, this video is an old video. It predates your presidency in 2016.
When a chama won't to me refer me so when
it is the same video which Chairman Wontumi referred me to as being the reason for my arrest. And for that
2 years.
For this same reason, which is the same video, I will be jailed for 2 years at Akuse.
Now me them support ama honorable
because allegedly and untruthfully, they said I had thrown support.
So you see,
the reason they set their eyes on me and they wanted to do harm, unlawful harm to me.
2024 and as our prophecy
now in 2024
started 2023.
So events started unfolding in 2023 because the deputy or the branch of that tree was the same person, the tree itself and the leaves, the fruits and all compartments of the tree supported to become flag bearer. So in 2013 when this prophecy was given, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was not president of Ghana. At best, he was a flag bearer or potential flag bearer. He had not yet elected his running mate who would become vice president when Nana Addo becomes president. It took 10 good years for the prophetic message to come to pass. Now let me say this and say one or two other things. So the reason I was arrested is this video. Nobody has a scintilla of evidence.
MPP from penny for me complaining as will be a 200 and can't say you ban so
no one had or has a scintilla of evidence, a shred of evidence to show that I went to Madam Pat's house with a gun to go and shoot her to death.
Me too, Mirana Machilesi, a year so to Nana Nimo Fori, one na himful, bear 3 and Umubami fee.
Rather, it was Nimo Fori, the chief of Sotuum, and 3 other chiefs that came to my house. And I'm only saying this with names so that you know that what I'm saying is true and not a lie. One of the chiefs that came was called Amas.
Now Nimo
Fori said to me that he gets troubled when he hears the woman insulting me. And the woman lives or has a property on the land where he rules. And so he was going to broker peace. Speak to the woman and then broker peace. Make us smoke the peace pipe. So may God bless that chief. May God bless him. Indeed, he did as he said.
Mr. Kofi Sando office airport
now I met Amas at the airport at an office of one of my friends, and in a car. I was in a car when I met him, and he told me, oh yes, indeed, they are speaking to her. They have achieved significant strides towards ensuring that there will be peace between the woman and myself. And so on such day, he would want me to meet with them and the woman so that there will be peace talks.
Your resident pastor, Reverend Kwame Yetro, and a mass in a call by.
So I was with Reverend Kwame on a particular day when I received a call from the chief called Amas.
And or say so to mo hene mpo ama ne mrantie so mo mra meka ho nie nyina ye ne maame ni hia na afi amas ne hwe ohene no na afi asomdwe mra.
And he said that the Sotom chief had
good news
designated him to ensure that there will be peace between myself and the woman, and in addition to that, he has sent some of his men to accompany us to where they were going to meet.
Onokra no asenka obenya ananko ne maame no eba enam so there be yenkohia neutral grounds. Now
his what he said is that he would wish that he would rather bring the woman to me, but I said no, let's meet at a neutral place.
Ekwemu no frame so o maame ne kra fie na maame ne say me minya bibia na me mrefie na bibia okay.
Now on my way to that neutral place, I received a call from this Chief Amas, who said to me that he is in the house of the woman, and the woman has told him to tell me that, you know what, I should let sleeping dogs lie and then come home so that we settle issues. Now at the time I was coming, there were men the chief of Sotom had sent to direct and accompany us. So when I arrived at the place, this chief came to me and said to me that the woman says that she would come so that we find a place to settle the scores. But that didn't happen. It turned into something else. I did not even get down from the car. I drove there. There was no physical or violent confrontation with any person.
Even an but me catch there, no.
Now the people that accompanied me there, I said to them to ensure that there will be no violence, and so we did not fuel any violence. And until life, Emma epie mukra can say, Owusu Bempah ba ha so be peace. Mini peace be amede mano. Now Emma ba bonten. You recall? Na me ko se me ne kokon tokwa. Anka ma me beka so Owusu Bempah ba so be peace. Mini peace be amede mano. Now you will recall that while the woman was streaming live, she said that Owusu Bempah is here saying that he wants peace. I have no peace to give him. Now, if I had indeed gone there to cause violence, would she have said on the live stream that Prophet Owusu Bempah was there seeking peace? No. Now let me say this and I'll end. The affliction, the agony I was made to go through, and I am so hurt about it till today. Now I want to ask a question to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's administration.
MPP 4B.
And I want an answer.
MPP party no into omubuafu. There be omo hear me near me king.
Now there are some members of the NPP who are angry because they say that I've insulted the NPP party. But no, I have not insulted the party. I was confronting certain people in the administration who so for over the years you have insulted me, said all manner of stuff at me. I have not responded. I just responded once and all hell breaks loose. Now, blessed be the Lord who gave me a revelation. In fact, now what the Lord has done for me, I am so grateful for it, and I thank God exceedingly for what He has done, because but for that I wouldn't be alive. There is no person who has labored more than me or toiled more than me to ensuring that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will become president of Ghana.
9 months.
Apart from fasting
continuously.
And prayers for
3 times
9
a week
months continuously. Praying and meeting them 3 times a week.
Also for dear Amy Yapain.
Now this is what hurts.
Ghana for you TV.
Ghana for you TV.
Ghana for you TV.
Yan kanta egumi so asew empanyimfo so ne wafuru duapa ne piano na ne opa bibia kokotoko ne yenye na bro o konfo e ho na me scan Twitter ye na me kye wo mo me hyira wo ayo kase pia.